Learning the language of toilet partition hardware, TPH. As the leading manufacturer of toilet partition hardware, Metlam Australia understands the challenges faced by those who don't specialise in the industry to understand not only the language of TPH, but what purpose each of the different componentry serves. Metlam Australia has put together a series of videos to assist you in learning the language of toilet partition hardware. First in our series, we focus on hinges. A cubicle door hinge is a piece of hardware that's fixed to a cubicle door and frame and is designed as the pivot point for the opening and closing of a cubicle door. Sounds simple enough, doesn't it? But did you know that there's a lot more to a cubicle door hinge and how they affect a commercial bathroom design? Firstly, we'll discover Metlam Australia's types of hinges. The gravity hinge. The gravity hinge has no mechanical components within the hinge. Therefore, gravity will assist the door to move towards a hold open or hold close position. We'll touch on what hold open and hold close mean shortly. Gravity hinges cannot be adjusted to suit a certain speed of closure of the door. The spring hinge. Contrarily, the spring hinge incorporates mechanical components allowing for adjustable door movements to a hold open or hold close position. Spring hinges can be adjusted or tensioned to determine the force of opening and closing the door. This can be done on site by the installer. Visit Metlam Australia's website where you'll find instructions on how to tension a spring hinge. Now it's time to look at the handing of hinges. Understanding hinge handing is crucial. Hinge handing refers to the side of the door where the hinges are placed. Metlam Australia hinge handing is determined by a person sitting on the toilet facing the back of the cubicle door from inside the cubicle. If you're looking at the door and the hinge is visible on the right-hand side, it's a right-hand hinge. If you're looking at the door and the hinge is visible on the left-hand side, it's a left-hand hinge. However, in instances where the cubicle door is to open outwards, not inwards, meaning the door moves away from the toilet, the hinges are to be mounted on the outside of the cubicle. This allows the door to open outwards. This type of install can be seen in ambulant cubicles. To nominate the handing of this hinge, you'd be standing on the outside of the cubicle looking at the hinges on the front of the door. If you look at the door and the hinge is visible on the left-hand side, it's a left-hand hinge. If you look at the door and the hinge is visible on the right-hand side, it's a right-hand hinge. You then have the option to choose a hold open or hold close operating function for the door. This means that if you wish the door to close after use, then you need to choose a hold closed function. If you wish the door to stay open after use, then you'll need to choose a hold open function. The handing of hold open or hold closed function should be nominated when ordering your product, so they can be set to the correct handing, ready for installation. Safety is key when it comes to commercial washroom design, so it's important to understand that Metlam Australia hinges are designed with a lift-off safety feature. So what does this mean? Research indicates that during an emergency within a cubicle, there's a high probability that the occupant might lose consciousness and collapse, thereby impeding any efforts to open the inward swinging door. Metlam Australia hinges are designed with lift-off capabilities that simply allow the cubicle door to be lifted off its hinges to allow easy access to the occupant. Please visit Metlam Australia's YouTube channel to see our video on the safety and accessibility features of Metlam Australia's toilet partition hardware.